Today we're going to be talking about a person whom has given so much to talk about on Twitter or X, and her name is Rachel Meghan Markle. The reason why we're going to be talking about her is because, um, well, she is also two things or three things. I'm thinking about, I'm procrastinating the third option also. I'm not quite sure if I will proceed in doing that, but um, I have in the past though, like for instance, I'm an author and I'm a noble person. However, aside of being nobility, the focus here is that we're going to be talking about her. And the subject that we're going to be mentioning here is her moon bumps. Um, the obvious reasons why we don't like her, including myself, because it's obvious on whenever she walked the crowd when she was part of the nobility or the clan, the British royal clan in the United Kingdom. When she walked on to the crowd to greet us, I remember seeing her bump that was unusual. She would not allow anyone to touch it, and she always had her hands on um, her moon bump because um, the deal with her is that she has so much lies. Uh, she mentioned at the age of 28, she underwent, don't remember the word, but I'm looking for it. The age, should have looked for it before, but this is a live ordeal, so I have the computer on as an author. 28. And if she admitted that she did went under it, then she cannot conceive. But suddenly she was pregnant. When you do that sort of surgery procedures, you cannot get pregnant. Bottom line. So there was no need to lie or to fabricate such a huge stage to later then admit that you went under that. Let me see. The age of 28, Meghan Markle underwent surgery. Let me see here, and I will let you know what is the word. Is a medical word. hmm So she underwent a hysterectomy, and for that you cannot conceive afterwards. So you cannot get pregnant, and so all most logical it would be that the reason perhaps why she made up the stories that she was expecting those two kids, it was because she urgently needed to have um, the so-called children royal title so they can also be part of the royal British royal circle. But then in the end, of course, they decided to back off, just like to exit from the being public in the on the spotlight after making a circus out of their lives in this when they were back in the United Kingdom. So, talking about what is the hysterectomy is a surgical procedure to remove the womb uterus. You'll no longer be able to get pregnant after the operation. If you have not already gone through the menopause, you will no longer have periods regardless of the age. It's more common for women age 40 to 50, but at the age of 28 is that when she had the hysterectomy surgical procedure done to her. And that's because she was also part of the Soho house. And that is a a background that she has, like a history that she does not want to talk about because it's obvious reasons. There's um, the jet ordeal that she was part of, where she met Prince Andrew, versus when that was prior surgical procedures on the face. There's a funny picture that is swirling in Twitter, where she's actually sort of smiling at him, but he was, Prince Andrew. He recognized her. He was mad. He could have at least talked to his nephews and explained to him how he met her, who she is, what she was, and so forth. Maybe she still is, and it's probably, if that's the reason why Prince William had like a verbal quarrel with his brother in regards Meghan past and so forth. And then, I mean, if I would have been Prince Harry, well, let's not call him Prince because there's another deal with him. If I would have been him and then I would have been approached by my brother, whether quarrel or not, I would have been like a red alert site situation, um, like being careful who she was and so forth, because now that he's in too deep in the relationship with two fake kids, could be rental kids for all that matters. Seems that they are renting children because they do not match the same previous child who was brunette. Suddenly he's white, and out of the blue he has curly hair, and he's also a ginger. But then suddenly he's not anymore ginger. He has brown hair, but his hair is straight. So can you imagine these kids when they grow up? They might even write a book, if not go public and talk about, oh yeah, when they met this certain person and so forth, they were told that they had to call her mommy, maybe, because actually in public, I have not actually seen those children, but in regards to videos that they have posted, such as Henry, taking pictures to hummingbirds, ignoring the so-called sun when the sun wanted to get his attention, but he was ignoring him because his focus was the hummingbirds. You know, I mean, hummingbirds, they come and go. You can take pictures anywhere else for hummingbirds. But when your child is growing up, when that stage of the child, you're not gonna see it further on. As a hummingbird, you will. You know what I mean? Like, if that would have been his son, he would have been giving him the attention instead, because eventually that kid is gonna be eventually, is gonna grow up. So if you don't appreciate the child that you have there, that same, how can I say, that same treatment that he's giving him, perhaps not that he will, but he might. If that would have been his kid, I don't know. It, it's so it's so stage up. It's so Universal Studios. Everything that you see is not exactly what it is when you are in that circle of narcissists that Meghan has succumbed Henry. And I don't understand, what is it that maybe he is living in his bubble world, and while living in his bubble world, is like he is ignoring every aspect of his surrounding, including his wife. And in the long run, it seems to me, it gives me the impression that they are just together for the picture, for the show on Netflix that they're launching right now, which I will give it a thumbs down again, as I did previously. And so there, like for instance, supposedly there was like a stage going on with a trophy that he was granted for a polo match, with that he went with what was his name, Figueroa, a multimillionaire dude. And so they are starting all in a Netflix show, and they are making believe that he still practices polo, he's still receiving trophies, he's still doing the things that he used to do in the United Kingdom, but they have like their own royalty, excuse me, like their own monarchy in California, even though in her Instagram account, she, let me show you this part if I can. She posted in her business, I don't remember, it's a Riviera or something, orchard Riviera or something. Or I'm not into it, but that's what, people who follow her like 100% on the loop on Twitter, they know. But when they posted it, I saved it, so it's in the phone. But then right now I'm using the phone, so I cannot see that. And I mean, but the computer is rather slow because I have all the windows open since I'm working on another book. Actually, I'm working on two books, but the other one I have it like waiting because I'm updating the other one, and it's going up with the other new cover for ebook and hardcover, because I have it displayed for paperback, and I'm gonna leave it. I will leave it like that with the original cover because I feel that the past needs to be respected. Okay, she has an American Riviera Orchard account, but she also have another one. This one, it says Meghan Duchess of Sussex. How I wish that title would not be given to her, and if possible to be removed also, because honestly it's just trashing the entire ordeal to the floor, and it's like it's permitted to do that, but it's not. So there's something that she posted in regards why the United States does not believe in the monarchy. Okay, if she knows that America does not believe in that, then why does she still showcase, or why does she does not let go the idea of the word Duchess? It's like if she wants it to be recognized, that website on Instagram and including her website as such, the Duchess of Sussex. However, when you go down, which I don't, she's removed it then, but I saved it. Unless if I go to her website, though, the problem with her website is that when you click on it, they are like collecting data. They are constantly wanting you to accept the cookies. They want you to accept other cookies, also your email, and so forth, collecting tons of data. And but she removed it. So is that, like, for instance, I believe it said that from 17, all right, from 1797, there was like a law or something that the states, the USA, wrote in the Constitution, something of that sort, that monarchy is not allowed to rule the country itself. But they are allowing it to have, to be ruled from within. But since they're not political, as far as I'm concerned, then I believe that they can still get away with it. So in the Telegraph, there's another scoop. In regards, it says Prince Harry apologizes for breaking confidentiality rules in a high court case. Okay, let me read to you guys this part because it's very delicate in regards that he will be deported to the United Kingdom, because his wife did not protect him in regards legal documents goes. It's like he came in and out probably from either, both countries, UK, United Kingdom to USA, as a free will, Willie, I don't know, with the diplomatic passport probably. But he's not legal. He's not paying taxes. He's just evading taxes, basically. If he gets away with it, then anybody can do that. Bottom line. So Prince Harry apologizes for breaking confidentiality rules in High Court case. I don't know to whom he informed that information, but he wasn't supposed to. It's like I don't know. He reminds me of two people. He reminds me of a friend whom I knew a long time ago. He was from Mississippi, and his name was Malcolm J. Vineyard, and it's actually the same face. If it weren't because this one takes care of his teeth, the other one, I mean, when I met him, he had front teeth, but then suddenly they were brittle because he did also part, and this one does too. But this one is lucky enough to be in the media, and the wife takes care of his not teeth, but at least his appearance. And so court documents reveal Duke of Sussex emailed confidential information to Johnny Mercer, veteran minister, the veterans minister. This was 15th of April 2024 at 7:29 p.m. and is written by Victoria Ward, Deputy Royal Editor. The Duke of Sussex has long shared a close bond with Johnny Mercer, right? All right, but this one he looks like no. I'm not gonna give my opinion upon that guy over there, but no. So Prince Harry was forced to apologize after breaking confidentiality rules in his own High Court case by sharing private information with Johnny Mercer. Court documents reveal that the Duke of Sussex emailed the Veterans Minister's confidential information concerning his security claim against the Home Office. The Duke has also shared a close bond with Mr. Mercer, with both having served in Afghanistan. Mr. Mercer is a vocal supporter of the Invictus Games and is spearheading the government's attempt to host the 2027 2020 no, what is it? To host the 2027 event in Birmingham. The pair were photographed drinking pints of beer together and at last year's event in Dusseldorf, Germany. Mr. Justice Lane revealed the Duke's indiscretion in a cost. I don't get it. Who did Mercer then told who knows who that he told him, and that would how this news would have hit. So he's not so much of an ear to him. That's why the guy looks like he will be disloyal if there will be money involved. That's how he looks. That's why I'm like, mm-mm. But then again, you have to, I don't know if you have to be at my age in order to understand the entire horizon. Because I don't know if age has anything to do with it, but I've always been very prudent in whom I trust and to who I see, and I'm, like be careful to whom I talk things to, because I know that either, like for instance, if I see a person and I scan them as any individual person, I will automatically say, "Oh, he looks this and that. No, he's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. Oh, he is this. He is that." And I am never wrong about it. So I always trust my guts and my instincts. And so, going back with the article, Duke's indiscretion in cost ruling handed down on Monday concerning his failed application for a judicial review. He said in November 2023, the Claremont Preach breached the terms of the confidentiality ring ordered by emailing certain information to a partner of Schilling's who was not within the confidentiality ring, and the RT Honorary John Mercer MP. The breach was also immediately detected by the Duke's own various barristers, Jenny Fayal, who works for Schillings. She is turned informed the defendant via the governmental legal department, as well as taking action to minimize the effects of the breach, the judge said. So, um, the president of Biden is also sort of backing up him because, according to his said, he is um, the son of the King Charles III. Mm, my personal opinion is that he is not. The other rumor about this kid is that he is the son of, um, well, from an earl, if I'm not mistaken, the 18th or the 17th Earl of Pembroke. And his brother, who supposedly is his brother, is also named William. But if you see him and say, type in here Earl Henry um, Pem, Pembroke, then you can see if you go on Google, and will show you the actual brother that he has. So it would be Earl Henry Pembroke, say Earl 18th. Not quite sure if it's 8. Oh yeah, this is the father. So yeah, it will be the 18th now because the father passed away at age 60 something of a heart attack. His father was named Henry George Charles Alexander Herbert, 17th Earl of Pembroke. He had an affair with Lady Diana when she met, when she was actually engaged to Prince, back then when the king now was Prince of Wales, Charles, and he was handsome basically. Honestly, he was handsome, but later on he was like, I don't think so. But he looked like a nice person. The deal with him is that, according to the book that Henry wrote, published with his wife, because it seems like he didn't write it alone. Because if you, in his regards, if he respected his mother now that she's passed away, he would never, he would have never mentioned all the list of lovers that his mother had. So there was a list of names with every details and when they met, how they met. I mean, how will he know he was a kid? Somebody helped him, right? To write the book. It was also his wife, but her voice is not mentioned in the audiobooks. It was only his voice. So whatever he wrote or she wrote in the book and included it in it, it was his voice. So whatever he can, say it was her. She did this and that. She helped me do this and this. I mean, but it was your voice in the audio. So whatever, if she did help him, which I doubt she did not, it falls on his responsibility to actually drag his mother from the hair and pull her down the, you know, under the bus basically. And so this guy, he had a son, and this guy, his son is actually the same face that Henry has, and also is named William. As ironically as it is, as it sounds, it's incredibly that he has a brother, a sibling who is um, also named William. And this guy, the Earl, the 17th Earl of Pembroke, he is also the godfather, one of the many godfathers of Henry. And as to tell you how twisted the whole thing is, that his real father, as I called, being named Henry George Charles Alexander Herbert, is the um, how I was gonna say something. Aside of being the godfather, has the same name as Charles. It's the third name as Charles, and it's incredible, which means that this one, Henry, is not actually a prince. He is only an earl, the Earl of Pembroke, one of the many earls of Pembroke. That's all. And so the fact that he is called Duke, I mean, say that the Secret Service has taken a DNA, or they have a DNA sample of Henry, and they know that in the DNA King Charles does not appear as his father, but this guy does, then that means that either this king does not have the courage to be king enough to withstand and take action and decisions. If he does not, then he can throw the ball to the current PM, um, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who is someone from India. He can take action upon the behalf and orders of the king to remove the royal titles, and but he does not. I don't know. Maybe he is trying to evade a quarrel, a verbal quarrel. What more can Henry talk bad about his father, supposed father? He just can't. And so this is the actual father of Henry, who also has his name. And so, in regards, going back to what I started talking, was that I am writing a documentary upon Henry, talking about the Earl of Pembroke and his book, since he released it with the whole list of other guys who dated his mother. And I mean, I think he burned his tail. He also burned his head when he released that book. Because one thing is to talk about a biography and certain things that you would like to keep locked and not share with the public, just to keep it clean. But he didn't. He just threw himself, threw his family under the bus. Um, I don't know, scratch his mother's face, like if he took her head and then cleaned it onto the concrete until it bled, because of her. Basically, he's not a prince because she's like, but this one and this one is his dad. Then it's a mix of emotions and anger that he has, and now he wants to, like, perhaps take control of his life. But it gives me the impression that he looks sad, that instead of pursuing a degree in the USA, he just wants to live out of the welfare of his wife or some other institution or country government that is behind that woman, to whom I believe maybe she's in a communist ordeal, and the communist behind her maybe is Russia, and who's giving her money so she can destroy the monarchy with this one. He's just a puppet. He's just being used by her and to destroy the monarchy while she being married to this one. It would be actually delightful if she were to divorce him, dump him. Eventually, he's illegal in the States, has to go back to the United Kingdom, or he can go and live in Africa for all that matters. Or what is most common that he might try to attempt to do, which he could do if he succumbs, and you know he could suicide for that matters. But he have to, like, the thing is that he doesn't perhaps value himself. He doesn't know how much he's worth, and so because he also mentions in an interview that he had with um, Netflix, I believe it was, and where he talked about that he didn't value himself, and he couldn't believe that this woman um, basically it seems that she proposed in marriage, small words, and he couldn't believe that she was looking at him, that she was asking him out because he never believed that he was that attractive and so forth. And I was like, you don't know how much you're worth, or you just pretend to be not to know, or he's just part of the circus that suddenly he is an actor. But he acted well, and also he reminds me of Popeye. I don't know why. He just reminds me of Popeye. And but this is what I wanted to mention, and also that um, okay, okay, on Twitter you can find me under Lady Angela Third R. So it's at just a moment, because I'm also reading on notifications. On Twitter, I'm very much active. It's 100% active there. I don't use Facebook anymore. Is there? But they're asking for people in my regards. Maybe it's happening to everyone on their phone. To If you want to access the chat, then you have to go through your email, Gmail, and that is for me is a no. So what I did is that I removed it. I uninstalled the whole thing, the chat and Facebook from my phones and tablet. Um, as for Facebook on the computer goes, I only go in for um, the editorial thing, but it's not my actual. It's like it's just a social media. It's not my business, and my company is not hooked to it at all. I don't even put money in it. When a social media bothers me like that to my privacy, I don't think it twice. So I'm not far off in terminating the entire Facebook's accounts, honestly. So on Twitter, you can find me at Lady Angela Third is a Roman number, and then R. So it's at capital L Lady, capital A Angela, the number three, the Roman numerals, and then capital R as in royal. And it says the Lady Angela Third podcast channel. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel on YouTube, which is the Lady Angela Third podcast channel, and to please subscribe, share, and give me a like, as it is important for me. I'm actually monetizing on that one, actually not yet, but it's in the process, and I will need to have lots of subscribers in order to monetize, and it will help me a lot since it's my full-time job. And in order to grow and to achieve my aims, my potentials, then I will need you guys to help me grow the channel. It will help me a lot. And I'll see you later with another podcast. The ones that have the, let's say, the royal hat for duchesses and with pearls and the microphone next to it. These ones in particular are mostly for this sort of podcast that has to do with Meghan and that one, Henry. So whenever moving on forward with the books that I'm writing in regards to these two, then I will be using this picture for this podcast when it goes live onto YouTube. And also, I just want to mention because I did publish a book that I wanted to call it um, Huda or Judah, but I called it in Jude because I didn't know how people were reacting. Also, because I believe I made a mistake in the name itself. Let me just go onto my website on Amazon and just want to look for that particular book because it has images in it in which I um, I shared because there's also a story, so it talks about them too, but there's also like a mini story that I included it, like a short story. And I'm not quite sure. I will read it later on. After this post, I want to read it and that particular story because it hasn't sold, and I haven't given any particular um, propaganda. I didn't at all. But I will include that link in under the descriptions below. And it's actually 3 books included plus graphic designs. So it was published as a paperback, published on November the 7th with 20th 22, and it was under Brick and was publisher editorial. So the ones that they were actually published like that, I'm just gonna leave them like that. And so the blurb shoot is a long thing because I did include the little story, I believe. Let me see. It's 319 pages. It's a 3 times 9, 1 pound, and 1.21 pounds. And let me see here. So I'm gonna read you the back of the book. So it says Jude, written by Lady Angela III. The dirty clues you gave and throw at us, the clingy thoughts you burst into your doom. You choose to sweep them under a fine American carpet, while your hand wave at us goodbye. Is Megan? Ah, all along. It has her. Is you, huh? All along it was into. You sat alone in the dark, you be the judge, back in your room, where you embrace alone your bloody doom. While Twitter sang a chorus of is over, people cheer them, champagne glass high. And Megan, ha, all along it was her, is you, ha, all along it wasn't too. While you were stuck in your nightmare as you were clinging on to your spare, and she was all you ever had, while she fought to destroy your kingdom, and you stabbed them, you stained your mother's name, while we yelled Henry divorced her. Back at your home, your father saw you as the new Jude, meaning Huda, the traitor, whatever he thought of us as a jewel. Now you are known as the cruel son, but you hid under, inside your head, in a dark room, a place where which you once again hid in your dusted cave with a broom. As you stab us all with your raw yaw, the dirty clues you gave and threw us at us, and clingy thoughts you burst into your doom. You choose to sweep them under a fine American carpet, while your hand waved us to goodbye. Flashes flashed, fake smiles all came at us, as arrows shoot straight at us, saying, "Leave us alone." Your words sound more like drifting poor songs. Your stare through the lens with a long frown across your face. Her smile a stab to our faces. The insult with the crafted shifty butter spread with which She knew well how to use traces of neglect that you did not foresaw. Meanwhile, back in the United Kingdom, the prince came for a visit. And then it says short story that scene 37 Akka chapter. But I don't want to go through all of this. Honestly, what I'm gonna do is that when I get to read about this particular book on the scene into it, then you will know the actual short story that is included in this book, and I will republish it, but with another. I'm not quite sure the cover, honestly, but it needs to be with Huda because it says Jude. And the thing is, since well, it was someone who created it on Twitter, the cover, but I included the whole thing that I wanted it to have, my details in it. However, it is also under Brick and Wall Publisher Editorial, but the new one is going to be under the new editorial name. However, it's going to be under Huda. But the way that that picture that this Twitter person used was that we was kissing King Charles, like trading, betraying him. So he kissed him, like to greet him, to greet him, and in the process that he was greeting him, he already had established all the trap and the betrayal that he caused his father. He, if he threw his mother under his bus, not his, that everyone's bus or under the bus. Of course, he threw down even himself, his kids, his wife. It's like it's like a prostitute woman who doesn't respect her body. She does not respect anyone else. But same with Henry. He doesn't respect himself. He does not respect anyone around him either. For that matter, his father, his mother, now his dad. Also, perhaps for the rest, gonna be even Megan because Megan, in the end, is not only his wife, she is also his teacher, the professor who is teaching him how to be wise, how to be wit, how to be mean, how to be an opportunist. Eventually, he's gonna play the same ace game that she is playing him and all of us. He's gonna play it against her, and then one day she will probably know that whatever you did teach, if not her rental kids, she taught him how to use people, and he will probably toss her under the bus one day for money because since he has not and will not also pursue a degree, master's or a doctorate or whatever, he will throw her under the bus.